Hello, everyone. Welcome to TD Board Gamers. My name is Dave,
And I'm Dirk.
and today we're going to do our 5 deck reviews
Deck
for
ideas.
deck ideas for Daredevil.
All
So,
right, 5 deck reviews. We don't have 5 to review yet.
yeah, 5 deck ideas. So, Daredevil came out like the day before we left for Con of Heroes.
And so we've been back for a couple of days, so we've had a chance to kind of unwind, I guess,
Yeah,
from it. I had a lot of fun with that, but now we've had a chance to kind of step back and look at things a little now. So
yeah, and then we're going to
yeah,
try to get back to a normal schedule of recordings. But so this is one of the videos we need to do. So I did do my anticipated cards for Daredevil before I left for Con of Heroes, and now we'll do our 5 deck ideas. But first, so the way this works, if you've never seen a 5 deck ideas, is we're going to review the cards that came in the article, and then deck one is modifying what we know of the precon, which in this case is Justice, and then Dirk will do 2 decks, and I will do 2 decks, and we'll sprinkle our decks
yeah.
for decks 2 through 5 accordingly.
And the caveat to this is, of course, we only know a few of the cards that are coming out yet. So that may, whenever we eventually see all the cards or get the packs released, whichever comes first, then that might change what we're doing. But this is just based off of what we know at this point.
Yeah,
So
our
yeah,
initial impression of what we think Daredevil is going to be about.
yes.
And Daredevil, just like all heroes, has something unique, and we will go over what's unique about him. All right, but first let's do a review of the Daredevil card. So first of all, we got Matt Murdock. He's got a 3 recovery. He's an attorney
I
traded.
object.
No,
Wrong attorney.
wrong attorney. Matt Murdock begins the game with a sense deck. See rulebook page 26. We'll go over the sense deck, which they did show us the entire sense deck in the article, so that's nice.
Yes.
Force interrupt: when a sense upgrade would leave play, place it on the bottom of the sense deck instead. So what you'll see when we get to the sense deck, it's kind of like Doctor
Yeah,
Strange's invocation.
very much of his invocation deck.
Yeah, except for the one thing is you get to see the cards face up, so you know when they're going to come into play. So the article says you shuffle the sense deck, and there are ways to manipulate it, but for the most part, you are playing the cards in the order
Yeah,
that
it's
they are.
the same way as anybody who's played Doctor Strange, same way
Yeah,
as that one handles. Once you've shuffled it the initial time, they stay in that order unless something changes them.
right. All right, but let's continue with the hero.
All right, so the Daredevil side. So he has a thwart of 2, an attack of 2, and a defense of 2. He is a martial artist and defender, and he has superhuman senses. So as an action, he can play the top card of the sense deck as if it were in his hand, paying its cost. And as a force interrupt, whenever a sense card upgrade would leave play, place it on the bottom of the sense deck instead.
Okay, and he's got hand size 5, 10 hit points.
Oh, yes.
All right, and we got a blank card here. What's going on?
We don't know. They're all blank. There
There
we
we
go.
go. Just take a minute to look. Okay, so one thing you'll notice on the lower right hand corner, he's got the little sense circles going off. So that's how you know that this is a 5 card deck that's considered outside of his normal 15. So again, similar to Doctor Strange's invocation deck.
And it says sense deck at the bottom.
And it does say sense deck 1 of 5. Yeah. Okay. So first one we got is acute tactility. It's a 1 cost upgrade. Spoiler alert: all the senses are a 1 cost upgrade. It's a sense. It's a superpower attached to an enemy or a scheme, and interrupt: when you defeat attached enemy or remove the last threat from the attached scheme, you could discard this card to ready your identity.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that, like Dave said, they're all 1 cost upgrades. They're all superpowers too, I believe.
Yes, I believe so.
So,
So yeah, so Def Focus would be a great add to
yes,
your
yes.
deck.
All right, so then the next one we've got is enhanced olfaction. And this is you'll attach it to the enemy's scheme, and as an interrupt, whenever the defeated enemy, when you defeat the attached enemy or remove the last threat from the scheme, and you discard this card, you can reduce the cost of the next card you play this phase by 2.
Yep.
So what that
Oops,
kind of
sorry.
tells me is that whoever's going to be the person that actually defeats that enemy or clears it is going to be the one to get
Actually,
that cost.
it says when you defeat.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The player who defeats it and discards it, they're going to be the ones that get that reduction. It won't be the next card
I
played.
think it's only Daredevil can benefit from it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Daredevil. Yeah, that's right. Never mind. It's him that does it.
All right.
Well,
So
no, anybody could actually probably
no, no,
defeat it.
because it's still under your control.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah.
Radar sense. It's again, it's a one cost sense superpower upgrade attached to an enemy. So this one you can only attach to an enemy. Response attack after you attack the attached enemy. Discard to deal 3 damage to that enemy. So this is really nice against those super high hit point minions, or you could attach it to the villain, of course. So yeah, just a nice way to get an additional 3 points of damage on
Yeah.
top of your.
And what I actually like about this one is not a forced, and it's not when you defeat. So you could leave this one out there if you wanted to be able to get to one of the other ones more often.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is kind of nice.
And or yeah, save it till it's the last 3 points of damage to the enemy or something
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. So it's like I'm gonna wait and flip the villain at the beginning of a turn or the end of a turn.
This one seems like this would be. Daredevil, when he's playing aggression, is really going to like this if they reprint the Hall of Heroes and then or something so that people have it, because that hasn't come out since Thor, right?
No, Valkyrie got it.
Valkyrie did have it.
Yeah.
Both of those have been a while. So I mean,
Yeah.
if you're not able to get a hold of that or whatever, so you haven't been playing it or something, but if you've got it, this sounds like that'd be a great one.
Yeah,
to use with the Hall of Heroes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
an
because
aggression
I think Hall of Heroes is out of the current format right now, the current environment.
Okay.
And,
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's
oh, wow.
it's been a while.
My computer is being super slow.
Oh, it's probably my network, and it's probably my kids playing their video games.
Maybe.
I don't know.
There we go. It's just I got to do it twice. All right. The next one we have is heightened hearing. Again, it's a one cost sense superpower. This one you attach to an enemy as well. Hero interrupt defense. When attached enemy attacks, discard. That enemy gets a -3 attack for this attack, and you become the target of the attack. So this is great if you're playing Daredevil like protection, for example.
Yeah.
Because this is basically a subdue equivalent. And yeah, and you don't have to exhaust to defend. So
I bet you he's making Tiger jealous right now.
No, just gonna make Tiger mad if you take her minion.
Well, I was gonna say she's jealous because he can just take him. He doesn't need anything extra to do it.
Right. Well, actually, he doesn't engage the minion. He just will defend. So actually, no. Tiger was like, "Yeah, sure, you can take the attack from the minion as long as I keep the minion in front of me, so I can get my card, so I can get my card draw."
That's true, I guess. Okay. All right, and the last one that we have is the superior taste. So this one is you're going to attach it to a scheme, and then as a response, as a thwart action, after you thwart the attached scheme, you can discard this to remove 2 additional threat from that scheme.
Okay. I gotta hit it. Seems like I gotta hit it twice to get it to load up. All right, so now let's take a look at Daredevil proper cards. So we got cross-examination. It's a 1-cost event. It's an attack. Hero action attack, deal 3 damage to an enemy. For each upgrade attached to that enemy, you may deal 1 additional damage to it. So, of course, the senses are upgrades, and
4 of them can be attached to an enemy.
Yeah, and then, of course, if you have any other attachments, like, from the aggression suite, or you're teaming up with Cyclops or something, you have a lot of ways to get a lot of upgrades.
I love it. It's a cross-examination. He's getting the right cross there.
There you go.
All right, next we've got the living lie detector. So this is a 1-cost thwart event. And as an action, you can remove 2 threat from a scheme. And then for each upgrade attached, you get to remove an additional threat from it. So very similar thing. It's just based off of attachments to the scheme instead.
Right. And there are quite a few justice attachments that you can attach to schemes. So, all right. Then we have a deposition. It's a 1-cost event. Thwart. Alter ego action, thwart. You may choose any upgrade from the sense deck and play it, ignoring its resource cost. Do not shuffle. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. So like we mentioned earlier, you're playing with the sense deck face up. So, but you have to play them in order. This card would allow you to grab any of them and play it out of sequence, which is nice. Especially like we saw, there was one that only applies to a side scheme. So you could put that one out, even if it was the 3rd or 4th card down, from where you are. So this, and you don't have to pay the 1-cost resource. So this is a way to,
well, yeah, because you're already basically paying the 1 cost.
Yeah. So this is a way to play senses out of order, basically.
Yep. All right, then we've got the Man Without Fear. So this is a 2-cost upgrade, and it's a title. So as a hero action, you can exhaust this card and deal 1 damage to Daredevil. If you do that, you get to choose an upgrade from the Sense deck and play it, ignoring its resource cost. So very similar to the last card, or you can ready Daredevil. So both of those very situationally can be very good.
Yeah.
Depending on what. Well, the ready's always good, I guess.
But yeah, the ready's always good. But also, then this card, once this card's out, then the order that the Sense deck is irrelevant. At that point.
Well, you do have to.
Oh, you have to take
exhaust
it.
So
you have to exhaust it and take a point of damage.
yeah. So I mean, it's not completely irrelevant, but it's less of a concern.
All right, and then here's a card Dirk will never play.
Ah.
He hates to play side schemes, so it's focus the senses. It costs 0. Threat cannot be removed from the scheme except by Daredevil or Matt Murdock. When defeated, you may move any number of sense upgrades in play to other cards they can attach to. Choose any number of upgrades from the sense deck and put them into play. Do not shuffle, and it comes in with 4 threat. And again, as we've seen with heroes specific side schemes, for the most part, they don't have the victory, kind of like say like Jubilees and Silks, so they come back and you can use them multiple times during the turn, during the scenario.
The one thing about this one, though, is it says to choose those upgrades and put them into play. It does not say you have to pay the resource cost, so I'm assuming you do not, but we may or may not see a clarification on that. But I'm going to assume...
It says put them in play.
Right, so based off of that, I'm going to assume you don't have to pay the cost.
Right. Normally it says pay its cost,
Yeah.
So, yeah. But this, again, and you can move them around, so you have full control of your sense. Well,
because you're focused.
Right, exactly.
Focus. You know what you're doing with them. All right, then we've got Foggy Nelson. So he's a 2-cost support. He's an attorney persona. And as an alter ego action, you can exhaust him to remove 2 threat from a scheme.
Yep, except for focus the senses, because only Daredevil could do that. Oh, wow, this is annoying. Okay, then we have Nelson and Murdoch. It's a 1-cost support location. After an attorney character or support defeats a side scheme, confuse the enemy. Now, I actually like this card tied in with Foggy's, because Foggy is a support attorney. And so if you're down in alter ego and you have Foggy remove the last threat from a scheme, then you could confuse the enemy. So you could like have Foggy thwart and you attack, and you still can confuse an enemy. That's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, and what I also like about this, though, and we should do this one time just for fun, is you can play She-Hulk, and she can also utilize that as well.
Right, because she has a lot of her thwarting when she's alter ego. So
yeah, well, I guess technically you would be utilizing it, but she can trigger it for you.
She could trigger it. That is true. All right, so now we're moving on to deck 1. So deck 1 is Justice. So then, of course, there's a few cards that came in the article that we saw. So this is the pre-con for Daredevil. So we got Blind Spot here. He costs 4, 2 thwart with an asterisk, 2 attack. He's a genius martial arts, 3 hit points. And his response after blood sport thwarts, confuse an enemy with an upgrade attached. So this, again, nice. You can confuse. And if you had like one of the senses.
Well, he's confused because his name's Blind Spot, not Bloodsport.
Blind Spot. That's what I said. You misheard me.
Stealing my line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blind Spot. There you go. With the blind spot.
Okay.
Read the card.
I'm reading it mentally. All right. Know your enemy. So this is... So the cost is 1 plus a star, and that is, it's a discount of 1 if you are a martial artist. So if you're a martial artist, this one's free. But as a hero action, thwart action, you can remove 1 threat from a scheme and remove 1 threat from a scheme. So the way they've got that worded, that could mean you can either basically remove 2 from a single scheme or 1 from each. Which I like that. It's a little bit less than the multitask, right?
Yeah.
But it's less, but it's more versatile.
And it's free if you're playing a martial artist. If you're not playing a martial artist,
then you're probably going to
want to. You play a multitasking.
Yeah, the multitasking's better in that case. But as a martial artist, this one's definitely an upgrade.
Yeah. All right, then we have Legal Trouble. It's a 1-cost upgrade with a star condition. Discount 1 attorney or police. So now we got She-Hulk, or we got Jennifer Walters, I should say. Matt Murdock and Greer Nelson, because she's police traded.
So Tiger could play that.
Yeah. Attached to a minion, max 1 per minion. Attached minion gets -2 scheme. And of course, this is another upgrade. So that kind of fits into Daredevil's deck or blind spots.
Oh, Tiger's going to love this one.
Attached.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she could pretty much ignore.
She could go down and stay down for a couple of turns if she needed to, and only have to worry about the main villain.
Right.
Okay, and next we've got De-Escalation. So this is a zero-cost side scheme. And this one, it comes in with 4 threat, and when defeated, remove an acceleration token from play. Unfortunately, this one does have victory, so you cannot abuse it like that. But yeah, this one sounds like a fun one. I like that.
Or if you're playing with Cable and that one card,
Yeah.
you can. Doesn't he have a card you can pull one back?
Well, he's got a card that you can tuck.
Oh no, he can tuck
away.
other ones away. Yeah,
You get rid of something, but
yeah.
if only way he's bringing one back is if his side scheme comes out, brings his back.
Oh no, that's only the virus.
Yeah.
Never mind. But there's still a nice way to get rid of an acceleration token.
Yeah, which is always nice. I mean,
yeah.
Anytime you can slow the villain down a little bit.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it to where I've got a deck of nothing but side schemes to play.
All right, then we have stealth training here. It's a 2-cost upgrade. It's a skill. Play under any player's control. Max 1 per player. Response. After you thwart and exactly defeat a side scheme, exhaust stealth training to stun an enemy. So that's kind of nice for, if you can get it exactly. So you leave 1 threat and you play that that one we saw earlier that did 1 and 1 or something, where you have a little bit more control on how much thwarting you can do, you can actually stun an enemy. That's pretty good.
Okay, then we've got Elektra. So she is the Daredevil's signature ally. She is a 3-cost ally. She thwarts for 1, attacks for 2. She is a defender and a martial artist. And as a forced interrupt, whenever you're in hero form, when she would take consequential damage, Daredevil takes that damage instead. So yeah, you can actually keep her around a lot longer, but you will be taking the damage for her. But if you've got ways to compensate for that, you're good.
Yeah, actually, she would be a kind of a nice Voltron too, because you could sit there and take no consequential.
Yeah, she's a nice Voltron as long as you can handle.
As long as you can handle the damage. Well, you do have 10 hit points, but all right. And then the final card from the review article is Dance with the Devil. It's a 0-cost upgrade. It's a team-up card. Daredevil and Elektra, max 1 per deck. Attached to an enemy. Hero action, attack. Discard this card and deal 3 damage to attached enemy. And it has an amplify. Now, this is the first team-up that we've had that's not an event. And they had a live stream and Tony just explained that you do have to have Daredevil and Elektra in play when you play the card.
But not to trigger.
But not to do the triggering.
But you do have to have a hero attack to trigger it. So
right.
You do have to be a hero, but
you have to be in hero form to trigger the action.
Well, somebody does. I don't even
the person who owns the card.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So in this case, Daredevil. Now later on, we got an Elektra hero coming, so I don't know if Elektra will have a copy of this card in her deck or not. We'll have to see when the Elektra article comes out. But
haven't they always? Well, if with the second hero to have one, the second hero's always had it.
Well, or it's like in the back of the pack or
yeah.
something. Yeah, but yeah. So we're just assuming, but you never know. You know what happens when you assume.
Yeah, we'll have one. It may not be in her starter deck, but it should be in the.
It could be in the back of the pack, if anything, I would think. But all right. Well, anyways, so now we're gonna do our deck 1 ideas for modifying the precon. All right, so now we're going to show some cards that we think we would add to the precon, but with all the decks that we do, the subject to when we see the full kit.
Yeah, but this one, it really feels like, at least from what we've seen, definitely feels like it's kind of leaning this way, at least to me.
So the first card we would add is the Jessica Jones ally.
Yeah, number 1, she's one of our favorite Justice allies. Plus, she's a defender, so she just thematically it fits.
Right. So she costs.
Oh, sorry.
She costs 3, a thwart of 1, attack of 2,
Everybody knows Jessica. We don't have
3 hit points, and she gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play.
yes.
Okay. Now, Daredevil is a 2/2/2, which is pretty good stats. So we figured bumping up his stats would be good. So we got heroic intuition here, costs 2, play under any player's control, max 1 per player, gives you +1 thwart.
And of course, its new companion, the hero conditioning. So this is an upgrade that costs 3. Again, you can play it under any player's control. So it gives you the +1 to your thwart, but it also gives you 3 additional hit points.
And then for all your protection events, we've got Sense of Justice here. It's a 2-cost upgrade. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. And you exhaust it to generate a mental for a thwart event.
All right. Of course, we also have the Skilled Investigator. So this is 0-cost upgrade. It's a skill you can play it under any player's control, max 1 per player. But this one is after a side scheme is defeated, you can exhaust this to draw a card.
Okay. Now, another thing that seems to be important with Daredevil is upgrades that you can attach to things. In this case, it's a Justice, it would be for side schemes. So here we've got, or minions in this particular one.
Yeah, there's both minions and side schemes.
So this one's for a minion. So this is Befuddle. It's a 0-cost upgrade attached to a minion. When a character makes a basic attack, well, it's sort of kind of blurry for me. When a character makes a basic attack against attached minion, that character uses thwart instead of attack. So for Daredevil itself, it doesn't matter. Well, if you got the 2 heroics, that'll bump his up. But also, he's got a lot of stuff that is,
I mean, he gets buffed for having the
right.
For having these on schemes,
right,
on minions.
Schemes. Yeah, so he's got some cards that do that.
So even if it doesn't actually give a direct stat boost to him, because he has a straight stat line, and a lot of the minions are fairly similar as well, just having that additional attachment for the minion, and maybe even if you only put, depending on the rest of the cards come out, it might only be worth putting 1 in there. But I mean, at a 0 cost, I would definitely probably consider putting at least 1 of these in
right
there.
And once you have the 2 heroics, now your thwart's a 4 and your attack is still 2.
So you're still doing more damage there. All right, the next one here we've got is chance encounter. So this one also attaches this one attaches to a side scheme, max 1 per side scheme. But as an interrupt, when the attached side scheme is defeated, you can search your deck and discard pile for an ally and add it to your hand. So this is a way to get Jessica back, because the great thing is it searches your deck and your discard pile. So you can get Jessica back. You can get Elektra back if you decide, you wanted to use her instead, or anybody else that situationally fits. We're probably looking at Jessica, though, more than likely.
Okay. Now this one is mainly because Daredevil's on the art, but no, it's actually
no, it's a good card.
It's a good card for him. It's a followed. It costs 1. You attach to a side scheme, max 1 per scheme, and then when the attached scheme is defeated, you deal 4 damage to an enemy. So,
yeah, this is one. Whenever we were first looking at Daredevil's cards, this is the first card they mentioned.
All right, and then this is just good for any Justice, but
Overwatch. So yeah, this is one of my favorite Justice cards. It's a 0-cost upgrade. You attach it to the main scheme, or you attach it to a scheme, I guess. Doesn't have to be the main. But as a hero interrupt, whenever any amount of threat is removed from the attached scheme, you can discard this and remove the same amount of threat from another scheme.
Okay. And then another staple in Justice is Under Surveillance, costs 2. You attach to the main scheme, max 1 per scheme, and you increase the threshold by 4.
Yeah, and I do love the fact that a couple of cards that we've kind of used as staples in our Justice decks now actually are even more important in some of these.
All right. Then he's a defender and martial artist, so this is just good because Blind Spot's a martial artist, and Jessica that we're adding is a defender.
Plus Elektra.
Elektra is a defender as well.
And a martial artist.
Yeah, she's got both.
She works with either.
So team building exercise, it costs 2, and you exhaust it, and you get a 1 discount on something that shares a trait with you.
Yeah, it is a hero action, though, so you do have to be up.
Right. And the final card.
Yeah, the final card we've got here is Death Focus, because, again, we mentioned earlier that all of his upgrades are also, for his Synth deck, are also superpowers. So this one is a great card for those. If nothing else, just for that, I think it's worth its weight. But it's a 1-cost upgrade. It's a skill, max 1 per player. But as a hero action, you can exhaust this, and you can reduce the cost of the next superpower that you play by 1.
Okay.
So, yep.
All right. So now deck 2. So for deck 2, I decided to go aggression. Um, and of course, this is not a complete deck like we were saying before, but it just so he likes upgrades. So this is kind of an upgrade focused deck. So we got Shark Girl here. She costs 2, 0 thwart, 2 attacks. She is an X-Men. And when Shark Girl attacks an enemy, she gets +1 attack for each upgrade attachment to that enemy. So those are the senses. And then I've got some more upgrades that attach to minions here. So Shark Girl, you can just do more and more damage the more upgrades that are attached.
Yep.
And this one is because he is on the art. Yeah,
I love that criteria.
it is. It's required, so I have to include it. You'll pay for that. It's a 1-cost event. Hero responds. After the villain attacks you, you can remove 1 threat from a scheme for each damage you took to a maximum of 5. All right. Then we got Coup de Grace. It costs 2. It's an attack, hero action attack. Defeat a non-elite minion with an attachment attached. And with any when defeated abilities. Wait. Defeat a non-elite minion with an upgrade attached. Ignore any when defeated. Yeah. So this is really good for, like say those aim guys, in the Agents of Shield that have when defeated powers that always makes like the alarm level go up or that kind of annoying thing. So you can just get rid of them as long as you put an attachment, which could be one of your senses or, some of these upgrades like you mentioned. Now I didn't put a lot. Now, so I didn't put any specific. Well, I put a few events in here, but in addition to these events, I would put any events for any aggression player. So there, that's where this card comes into play. But I also have some unique ones in here. So some of them like melee or some of that stuff I didn't include, but I might have in the deck because for any aggression deck. So this is Plan of Attack. It's a 0-cost event. You get to search the top 4 cards of your deck, 7 instead if you're an alter ego for an attack event, and add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck.
Yeah, which alter ego is my favorite way to play that. So that one I like a lot better whenever I play characters that flip a lot. And I have a feeling Daredevil is going to probably do a decent amount of flipping if he's not anything but protection.
Now, the impression that I got, and this card may not make the cut if that's good, but there's going to be like a lot of stunning and confusing. So I put this card in. I'm not sure how much Daredevil natively can do outside of those the Justice cards or not, but I just thought I just confused and stun was in my brain when I pulled this card.
Well, that sounds like a Daredevil kind of thing to do.
Yeah, press the advantage, 1-cost attack, deal 2 damage to an enemy, and if the enemy is stunned or confused, you get to draw a card. So that kind of ties in with the unflappable, with which Daredevil's on the art. So
yes,
that's kind of required. And of course, Daredevil's on the art on this one. Surprise attack costs 1, and after you change forms, you deal 3 damage to an enemy. 4 instead if you pay for this card using a strength resource. So
he likes to change. So
right, I don't know how often he's going to flip down.
I think he will.
But he's on the artwork, so he has to be in there. Now this card is because of all the senses, that are attaching to minions. This makes sense. Surprise move. It costs 1. And then when you make a basic attack against an enemy with an upgrade attached, you get +2 attack for the attack. And if the attack defeats the enemy, you get the ready.
Okay.
And the other one that goes along with that is Take That. It costs 3. And you deal 7 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. All right, now moving to supports. We got Air Cover here. It's a 1-cost support. It uses 2 fuel counters, max 1 per player. After a minion enters play, you can exhaust this card and remove 1 fuel counter from it. Search your deck and discard pile for a tactic upgrade, which they're here. I haven't gotten to it.
Oh, you haven't gotten to.
And you can attach it to that minion and add it to your hand.
I was saying, you said tactic, and I'm like, wait a minute, Plan of Attack, but it's got to be an upgrade.
Yeah, and I have a few tactic upgrades in here. That's why I included that card. Then we got Assault Training. It costs 1. Max 2 per deck, uses 2 training counters, and then you can exhaust this card. It's an alter ego action, and remove 1 training counter from it. Choose an aggression event and your discard pile and shuffle it into your deck. So it's just a way to recycle some of those events. No aggression deck would be worth its weight without Hall of Heroes, so it's a 2-cost support. And then as a response, after you defeat a minion, you put a glory counter here. Then alter ego, you spend 3 glory counters, you get to draw 3 cards. All right, so I anticipate using the basics a lot, so I got aggressive conditioning here. It's a 3-cost upgrade, and you play under any player's control, max 1 per player, and you get +3 hit points and +1 attack. We got aggressive stance here. After it's a 1-cost upgrade, and after you engage a minion, you discard this card, search your deck for an attack event, and add it to your hand. So it's a way to deal with it. So now here's the first of the tactics. So we got Caught in a Crossfire. It's a 0-cost upgrade. You attach to a non-elite enemy or minion, sorry, max 1 per minion. And when a friendly character attacks, you deal 1 damage to the attached minion.
All right.
And then we got Combat Training here, which is a 2-cost upgrade. Play on any player's control, max 1 per player. This gives you another +1 attack. That's a card I don't use very often. I don't know. It may not make the cut, but it's a Gatekeeper, 0-cost upgrade, but it is an attachment that goes on a minion. The minion gets +2 hit points and gains patrol, but when attached minion is defeated, remove 4 threat from the main scheme. So this would go good with the take, what is it? The one attack that does 7 damage.
Oh yeah, that's the
No, it's further down.
Take that.
Take that. Yeah, so this would work with take that.
Yeah.
And of course, just being an aggression event deck, you got to have home technique.
Too bad this is not a tactic. This would be a great one to pull out.
Yeah, 3-cost upgrade. Requires 2 mental. Of 2 of the 3 costs have to be from mental. And when you play an aggression event, if you paid at least 1 mental when you do the aggression event, you get to add its value to the amount of damage it does.
Love this card.
Right. Absolutely. So take that would be 10 because I think it costs 3. Yeah. This is one of my favorites. Is attached to minion marked. It's max 1 per minion, and attacks against the minion gain overkill.
So. Yeah, so especially like you take that on something that's got like 1 hit point, you can do 10 with a home technique and leave 9 of
right. So you do 1 on the minion and 9 to the villain. And it's also nice that the villain has retaliate. Oh well, I'm not attacking you. Yeah, you're just taking it. Martial prowess here. So this is a 2-cost upgrade. Play on any player's control, max 1 per player, and attached. You exhausted to generate a strength for an attack event. So it's a 1-cost discount on an attack event. Then we got suppressing fire here. It's a 0-cost upgrade. You attach to a minion, max 1 per minion, and when you attack and defeat attached minion, heal 2 damage from your hero. So looking at the cards I'm adding 3 tactic upgrades.
Yeah, that's what I was counting.
Yes, I figured. And then this is Def Focus. This is for the senses mainly, but he's got 5 of them, and you're gonna be playing them constantly through the game. So I think Def Focus is very important for any Daredevil deck. It's a 1-cost upgrade, max 1 per player, and exhaust Def Focus, and you get a 1-cost discount.
Honestly, I think this one might be more important to Daredevil than to some others, just because of the fact that he's going to have those available every turn.
Right.
So he's going to have at least 1 available every turn.
And now they cost 0 instead of 1. So anyways, that was deck 2 aggression.
All right. So now we're going to go on to deck 3. So this is my take on a slightly different Justice deck for him. So we looked at we looked at his basic setup that he's coming with. Looks like it's going to lean heavily toward the attachments, the upgrade attachments. So in this one, though, we did notice, though, like Dave said, we did see kind of a theme, but it seemed to be more leaning toward the Justice cards instead of the Daredevil cards. So I thought, let's kind of just play with that theme a little bit and let's see what we got here. So for the allies I've got looking now, and I may not use all of these, but these are the ones that kind of immediately caught my attention. Okay, so the first one, of course, is Jessica, just because, again, she's the defender. She's she's one of our favorite Justice allies just because of her ability there. So I do have to definitely at least consider her. She's kind of one of my top considerations.
What's her ability?
We already talked about it.
Well, people may have skipped over.
So
They
she
may have
gets
skipped
plus
over
one.
what put
She gets +1 to her thwart for each side scheme, or for each, is it side scheme?
Yeah.
For each side scheme that's in play. So of course, if I'm using her, there's a good chance I'm probably looking at one way or another. But that is not one of the cards that I've got pulled here because I just love that card and it works well with her. But I did not pull it out here, so maybe we'll flash it up. Maybe not. We'll see what Dave says.
No.
He doesn't like it, so he does.
No, I like it.
No, he doesn't like it when I play it. I'm better.
A little bit.
All right, so but the ones that did jump out at me that would be really good, at least with this deck idea that I was looking at here. First one we've got here is Banshee. So Banshee is a 4-cost ally. He is an aerial X-Men with 3 hit points, thwarts for 2, attacks for 2. But his response is whenever he thwarts, he can stun a minion. Confuse a minion. He confuses a minion. See, I was confused. I didn't know. But so does that make me a minion?
Yes.
And maybe I better get a yellow outfit then. So
and when you have your one mask, you look like a minion.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I haven't won that one in a while. But yeah, just with the confusion there. So and I thought, like I said, stun and confuse seemed really good. Next one we're going to look at here is Cypher, who is a 2-cost ally. He's an X-Force ally with 2 hit points, forts for 1, attacks for 1, and his response is whenever he attacks and damages a confused enemy, then you get to draw a card. So of course we are looking at stunning and confusing. So he's the one that you would be going after, the confused enemy, so you get the card draw there from him. Next one we're going to look at here is Dazzler. So I liked her. She's a little bit costly for a lot of the decks that I like to play, but I do like her ability. She's a 4-cost ally, forts for 2, attacks for 2. She's an X-Men with 3 hit points. But it's that ability is why I'm looking at her here, because whenever she enters play, she can confuse an enemy. So again, here we're looking at the confuse. So that way we'll get benefits from confused enemies, but also if they're confused, they're not scheming on you, so it makes that a little bit easier to keep under control. All right, so moving on to the events here. The first one that I'm going to look at here is Battlefield Benevolence. So this is a 1-cost tactic event, and it's a hero action. You can heal 2 damage from an enemy and confuse the enemy. So this is one that, you do have to have some damage on the enemy to be able to utilize that because of the arrow. But if you've got an enemy who's taken a point of damage or something, you can confuse them with it. I'm probably actually looking at using this on the villain, to be honest. Do that to the villain. That way, whenever you go down, they're going to be confused. You don't have to worry about them scheming on you. So there's probably where I'm using this, but I might use it for one of the others, especially if we get one that does have a high scheme value and you need to go down for any reason. We're also going to look at Concussive Blow here. So this is a 3-cost event. This is an attack action for a hero, but you can confuse an enemy. And if you paid for this using a strength, you're going to deal 3 damage to that enemy as well. So this one, I'm going to try to use the strength for it. But for me, the most important part here is the confuse. I'm going to try to make sure that I get the enemy confused. Again, to play into some of the other cards we've got coming up and some of the cards we've already seen from the kit as well. All right. And then, so now we're going to look at Infiltrate here. So this is a 1-cost event. It's one of our favorites. We've been using it really heavily since it came out. But this is a 1-cost thwart action. It's a hero action. And you will choose a number between 1 and 5, and you're going to discard that many cards from the top of the encounter deck. And if you discard a minion within that, doesn't matter how many, if you discard at least 1 minion, you will choose a minion from among those discarded and put it into play with you. So now, yes, this does run the risk if there is a very strong minion in the discard pile or in the encounter deck, you might get that. But I have yet to see a game that I would not put this in. Now, granted, we don't normally know who we're fighting before, or who we're going up against before we build our decks. But even if I knew, I'm not too sure there's too many minions that I would not put this in with because it's just such a great card.
Right, but
yeah,
it also works great with this stealth training.
Yes,
and you can stun the enemy that just came out too.
Yeah, that was one of the things. I mean, we saw this, and it's like I love the fact that if you do it exactly. So yeah, you can choose that any number between 1 and 5. So as long as you're within 5, you can hit it dead on with this card easily.
Yeah.
So
normally we do 5.
But yeah, normally we do, but not always. Then next one we've got here is Scare Tactics. So this is a one cost attack event, and then this is deal 3 damage uh, to a
Confused.
confused enemy. So this, remember we had all the cards earlier that were confusing. So this is one of the payoffs for that confusion. We've got a lot of confusion in this deck, so this is a way to actually take advantage of that. We've also got Swift Retribution here. It's a one cost attack event, and he says on this one, the villain schemes, and then you're going to deal 4 damage to the villain. Well, we've got a lot of confusion in here, so the idea between this one is you confuse the villain, play this card, allow him to scheme, and then you're going to deal 4 damage to him. So we've also got Upside the Head. So this is a one cost skill event. It's a hero response. After a hero makes a basic attack and damages an enemy, you're going to confuse that enemy. So again, there's another way to actually add additional confusions. There's a lot of confusion in this deck. So we are, a lot of it is actually in there to prevent them from scheming, but a lot of this is because we're looking to take advantage of the fact that they're confused. Oh, what?
If the enemy is already confused.
Oh, yeah, if they're already confused, stun them instead. Yeah, that's right. I didn't even finish reading the card.
Right.
Yeah, because you could stun them instead. So then they're not attacking you either. So yeah.
Right. And I love the name. I love the name of that card.
Great card. Now this is something I don't play a lot. I've gotten to the point that I don't play a lot of these um, um,
Use your words.
aspect specific resource cards. But this is one that felt really good here because it's max 1 per deck, but as a hero response, after you spin this to card, you can remove 1 threat from the main scheme. So if you are looking to try to hit that main scheme exactly, you can choose to add that 1 threat to get there just a little bit closer. I mean, it's not a bad card anyways. It does add a wild, so you can use it to pay specific costs if you need them. But I do like the fact in this particular deck, because you are at times trying to hit a number exactly, this gives you 1. And it's a lot easier to manipulate one at a time than larger numbers.
It's only on the main scheme, though.
Yeah, it is only on the main
But the
scheme.
nice thing is, like, if you got a crisis with, say, 4 threat on it, use this for a 4 justice, you get rid of the crisis, and now you can remove a threat from the main.
Yeah, and whenever we were going through the events, I didn't put a lot of the cards like the 4 justice and stuff, but yeah, like Dave said, those are ones that I would just kind of pick them as whenever I see what I need, and this is definitely one that will help pay for those.
We're just showing
costs.
what we think specific for Daredevil. Yeah, there always are going to be generic events that we would add.
And these are ones that I might not even necessarily play in some of the other decks. But this one's Surveillance Team. This is one I don't use a whole lot, but again, we're trying to hit numbers exactly. It feels like a good fit for him. So this is a 2 cost support. It's a shield support, and it comes in with what? 3 snoop counters on it. And as an action, you can remove one of those snoop counters to remove a threat from a scheme. Again, you do have to exhaust the card. So again, it's a single point, but you get a couple of different things that can do that. Add them up, makes it a lot easier to hit that number.
Now, the key thing was, since we got stealth training up here, is say you've got the surveillance team out, and you have the event like for justice again, say. So maybe the side scheme has 5 threat on it. You use the surveillance team to knock it down to 4. Then you play the 4 justice to wipe it out completely, and then stealth training would kick in.
Yep.
You can't reverse it because surveillance team is not you. So if you did the 4 justice first and left 1 on there, and then use the surveillance team to get rid of it, you would not be able to use stealth training.
Yeah, timing is definitely involved in this deck a little bit. So you do have to make sure you time things correctly. So then we've also got Vigilante Training here. So this is a 1 cost support. It is a condition, maximum 2 per deck, uses 2 training counters. But you can exhaust this card, remove a training counter from it. You're going to choose a justice event in your discard pile and shuffle it back into your deck. And this is one, it's just, I don't use this one as much. I've used it in the past, but I don't use it as much unless there's a specific card I'm trying to recur back. But this one just felt like, because there are different amounts that you're trying to get, some of the best targets for this one I actually think would probably be like the Infiltrate, or the cards that are looking to get specific values are probably where I think you're going to turn up using this the most. But if you do need the confuses, you can get those back as well. Because I mean, we got cards that do both. But yeah, this is one that I think would actually probably be a little bit more beneficial here than in some other decks. Of course, we've got the basic, a couple of standard cards. We've got the heroic training, the heroic conditioning. They'll both add +1 threat, or intuition and conditioning. The intuition just adds a threat. The conditioning adds threat +3 health. So, but they increase your thwart ability. We've got invisibility gear here. This is a 1-cost upgrade, and you can put it under any player's control, maximum per player. But when an enemy would attack, you can discard this instead, and that enemy schemes instead. Again, this is where we're trying to take advantage of using all that extra confuse that we've got in the deck. Now we've got operative skill here. So this one, it's a 2-cost upgrade, comes in with 3 operative counters on it, maximum per player. But whenever you would thwart, you're going to remove a counter from it. To that thwart removes 1 additional thread. Again, it's a way that we're trying to pinpoint how. I don't know if I would put 1 or 3 of these in a deck, but 1 actually feels like it would. At least 1 feels like a really good fit in this. We've got Prism Dust here, so this is a 1-cost upgrade. It's a preparation tactic, maximum per player. But as a hero response, after a minion enters play, you can discard this and confuse that minion and deal 2 damage to it. So the confusion is the main point, but the 2 damage is nice bonus with it. Of course, we've got some standards here. We've got the Sense of Justice, which can help reduce the cost of thwart events. And then we've got the Skilled Investigator, which is whenever you remove threat from a scheme, from a side scheme, you can exhaust it to draw a card. We've got the Sonic Rifle. So 1 more way to confuse enemies. This one's 3-cost upgrade. Comes in with 2 energy counters on it. And you can spend 1 energy counter and exhaust it to confuse confuse a minion, or 2 counters to confuse a villain. Normally we use this a lot for the villain. In this case, I might actually use it on the minions. And then of course, because we've got Jessica, we've got what is his name now? You called it Blind Spot. We've got Blind Spot. They're both defenders.
And Electro.
And Electro, yeah. So team building does feel like a good fit in this deck. So that's what I'm looking at.
All right, so that was deck 3. All right, so now we go to deck 4. So deck 4 kind of centers around Electra Ally. So this is a leadership deck, and it's all about Electra. And I really like the fact that she does not take consequential damage.
Do I hear a Yondu?
Well, she can't Voltron quite as much as Yondu, because
you got a point there.
You'd have to if you play as a Guardian, or something. So then you
but then you're not playing her.
No. I said if you are playing as a multiplayer game. But so this is all about Electra, but it's not an Electro recursion. It's Electra stay out and never go away deck, ideally. So the first card is Get Ready. It's a 0-cost event, and ready an ally. So boom, she can activate more than 1.
Yeah, if she's not taking consequential, why not abuse that?
Then we got Lead from the Front. It's a 2-cost event. You choose a player, and each character that player controls gets +1 thwart, +1 attack until the end of the phase. So now she's a 2/3, and with the Get Ready, she can activate multiple times.
Now remember, every time she prevents that damage, though, you are taking it. So
well, I have.
Well, I know you got a plan for that, but
I do. I just
just reminded people.
Oh, I did put it. I just put it in the wrong spot. Okay. All right. The next card I think is good would be to make her a sidekick, because the fact that when she's a sidekick, it's a 1-cost upgrade. Attached ally gets +2 hit points, and it's your sidekick. And then after you make a basic recovery, because like Dirk said, you are going to take damage, so you need to go down, and you can heal 2 from Electra. So there's a couple times where you can allow her to take a couple points of damage to save you, and then you go down, make a recovery, and then both you and Electra get healed. Yep. Which of course goes hand in hand with this card, side by side.
Hand in hand, side by side.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's a 2-cost event. Ready your sidekick and ready your hero. Again, we want lots of readies. And you can heal 1 damage from both characters, or both characters get +1 thwart and +1 attack until the end of the phase.
Yeah, use whichever one you need. There.
Yep. And while you're down making your recovery, you could use Suit Up here. It's a 2-cost event. Search your deck and discard pile for an ally and an upgrade that can be attached to that ally, and then put it in your hand. Now, one thing they did rule on this card is that you don't have to, have the upgrade go to the ally that you grab. So even though Electra's already out, so you grab another ally and you grab an upgrade, and you can put that upgrade still on Electra. So,
yeah, because it just adds them to your hand.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Then we got Teamwork here. It's a 0-cost event. And when you would make a basic thwart or a basic attack, you exhaust an ally. So you can also Electra. She's Spoiler, she's going to have some upgrades on her. Then you can
You think?
add the allies matching power to your hero's power for that use. And then the reverse is Unified Strike. So she doesn't take consequential anyways, but Daredevil is a 2/2/2, so you could add 2. So what you do is when the ally uses a basic attack, you add your hero's basic value, and then the ally does not take consequential. So it's a way to bump it up by 2. Elektra is very critical to this deck, so this is very rare for me to have side schemes in my deck, but this is a good one. I really like this side scheme.
It is a good one.
Call for backup, so 1 cost, victory 0. Each player may search their deck and discard pile for an ally and put it in a hand, and it comes in with 3 threat per player. Command team here, it's a 2 cost support, uses 3 command counters, and you can exhaust command counter to ready an ally. So again, more uses for Elektra.
Yeah, so now I did notice Dave actually has both of these in here.
Yep.
So a lot of times I've gotten to the point that in a lot of cases I've actually replaced the get readies with the command teams. But if you've got an ally, especially one like this that can go without taking the consequential, it's actually not a bad idea to have both in your deck.
Yep. You just got to watch your health, basically.
Yes.
Then we got R&D facility. It's a 3 cost support. It does require 2 mental of the 3 to pay for it. It comes in with 3 research counters, and you can exhaust R&D, remove 1 counter from it, choose a friendly character in play, and that character gets +1 thwart and +1 attack till the end of the phase. And if you're activating Elektra multiple times, woo, there you go. This is a card that Dirk is not familiar with. Team training. It's a 2 cost upgrade. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. Each ally gets +1 hit point. Now, inevitably, Elektra is going to take some consequential, just because of the fact that you may not be able to handle all the damage that Elektra is going to do to you. So this gives Elektra another hit point.
Yeah, so now we're looking at a total of 6 hit points for her between sidekick and this.
Yep. And then when you want to give Daredevil a break, we got coordinated attack here. And of course, this goes with Daredevil senses as well. Attached to a minion, max 1 per minion. Each ally takes -1 consequential damage when attacking the attached minion. So this is really good against like a beefy minion, like maybe one of the Thunderbolts or something, because they can go on an elite, and then Elektra can give Daredevil a break and not have him take damage. And it also works with Daredevil senses and stuff too, of course. Then we got coordinated effort. It's a 0 cost upgrade. You attach to an encounter card in play, max 1 per encounter card. When paying costs of the attached card, any player may help pay those costs. Now this doesn't, this doesn't, I mean, it's an upgrade. I just kind of threw it in. I don't know if it would stay, but this is nice, for like, say, an annoying attachment like Red Skull's Luger or something, and you just don't have all the resources between the 2 players.
Crossfire's rifle. That thing.
Yeah, you could.
Although that one doesn't have a cost, so you couldn't really use it there. But
yeah, but anyone that requires stuff. So then, of course, part of the Voltron. Now she's not an Avenger or a Guardian, so you can only really use the generic ones unless someone makes her honorary. Which we talked about earlier.
Yeah, but that's where you coordinate with your other players if you know in advance that you're going to be playing.
But this one, just by itself, is great. It's inspired, attached to an ally, and the ally gets +1 thwart and +1 attack. Then no leadership deck can live without this card. I don't get the discount because I'm not a soldier, but it costs 2 mission leader, and when a side scheme is completed, you can exhaust it, and all players get to draw a card as long as you're in hero form when it happens. And again, like I said, Elektra is going to take some damage probably. So reinforced suit, you attach to an ally, and the attached ally gets +2 hit points. So
now she's up to 8.
Yeah, but so between the reinforced suit and the sidekick, she's going to have quite a few hit points. So this is for to get Elektra out in the first place, and who knows how many more martial arts or artists or defenders we would get through the wave. I mean, this is going to improve, I would think, during the wave, because we haven't seen any leadership martial artists or defenders. So this may be pulled, but this is good for Elektra at least. 2 cost team building, she costs 1 cheaper, basically. And then, yeah, to keep Daredevil alive, I'm throwing in some first aids. It's a 1 cost event. And you heal 2 damage from any character.
Yeah, it's funny. Those are normally in there to keep your allies alive, but in this case,
In this case,
the allies beating him up. So.
yeah, this case it's to probably more to keep Daredevil alive.
Yeah.
And then we got sidearm here. It's a 1 cost upgrade attached to an ally, and the ally gets +1 attack and ranged. So that's the other nice thing is, yeah, if the villain is retaliate, you definitely want to get this card out because
Yes.
Elektra can avoid the consequential damage, but not the retaliate damage. So this card will be critical if the enemy has retaliate.
Yep.
All right, so that was deck 4, all centered around the Elektra ally.
All right, so then we're going on to the last deck. I decided I was actually going to do protection, and whenever I first started pulling, I was like, I had no idea what I was going with this, so I started just pulling a few cards. This is
Thankfully Daredevil's on the art on some.
Yeah, he is definitely on the art on some of these, but
which is
that is not actually why I got.
That's important.
It is important.
Unflappable. You got to have the Daredevil unflappable.
I don't even have a flappable. Oh, I do. Okay, never mind.
That's why you picked it.
There's no flappable.
That's why you picked it, because Daredevil.
I can hear Dave in the back of my mind. It needs to be there.
Yep.
But yeah, so this one is one that
defense.
No, it is not. It does kind of center toward. It is trying to kind of go prevent that, but it's not focusing on that. So I mean, you're definitely trying to prevent as much, and if you can do it perfect, that's better. And there's some cards that will benefit out of it. But this one I can see probably more so than any of them is going to depend on what else we see in his kit. We'll narrow this down because there's quite a few cards here, and I won't be putting all of these in, but these are ones that I thought looked like good ideas with him, but they may or may not turn up making it. So I did the first one I've got here, ally is Clea. Clea is just a great all-around protection ally, but because she doesn't necessarily fit in the theme, she might get cut out, but I do like her a lot. So if there's room for her, I'm probably going to try to make her in there. She's a 2-cost ally. She's a mystic with 2 hit points, thwarts for 1, attacks for 1. Great thing about her though is an interrupt whenever she's defeated, and that is whether she's defeated with consequential or by blocking. You shuffle her back into your deck, so she comes back faster. So she's low cost, and she hits the ground a lot.
I just thought of a Spider-Woman Clea recursion deck.
Might have to do that one now. But kind of leaning into the fact that we saw the Suns and Confuses earlier. It was mostly Confused, but
yeah, it's mostly the Justice cards.
Yeah, and it was mostly the Justice cards, but it did also kind of make me think that actually is a pretty good way if you can actually stun them to keep them from hitting you, so it works well with protection. We've got Iceman here, who's a 3-cost X-Men ally with 3 hit points, thwarts for 1, attacks for 2, and he comes in with 3 freeze counters on him, and after a minion enters play, you can remove one of those to stun that minion. So it's, the minions come out, and you can put off dealing with them a little bit because they're going to be stunned. We also had Iron Fist, and Iron Fist serves a dual purpose in here. So not only is he a defender, but he can also stun. So he's a 4-cost defender, ally with 3 hit points, thwarts for 1, attacks for 2, comes in with 2 mystic counters on him. And whenever he attacks an enemy, you can remove one of those counters, and you're going to stun that enemy and deal 2 damage to it. So if the enemy survives, they're not going to be hitting you back this turn.
And works great with team building.
Yes, it does. So speaking of team building, we're going to look at another defender, which I actually forgot to grab him at first. I had to go back. Wait a minute, I'm missing one. So we grab Luke Cage. Of course, he's the bulletproof man. He is a 4-cost ally with 5 hit points. He's a defender, thwarts for 1, attacks for 2, but he comes in play with toughness in him. So of course, he's great. You can play him out there, let him take that first block. But even then, with the 5 hit points, there's a good chance he might be able to take a couple of additional blocks. So he might be able to block 3 things for you. I mean, yeah, he's not going to be blocking the villain probably with only 5 hit points, but you could have him block a few minions, so he could stick around for a little bit if you needed him to. Then again, of course, he does have the 2 attack stat line, so if you need him to knock something out, he can do that as well. And then the last of the allies here that I looked at was Siren. She's a 4-cost aerial X-Force ally with 3 hit points, thwarts for 2, attacks for 2, but her response, whenever she attacks, she stuns a minion. So again, we're kind of trying to keep them stunned a little bit. So it's similar to the Justice deck, but we're leaning more heavily into the stun than the Confused.
And she has amazing.
No. No. All right. Moving on, though, we're going to go. So, of course, we're going to look at some of the standard events here. I don't think I put anything that I would not use, that I don't have an easy time using in any protection deck. But these seem like that they went really well with his kit specifically, so that's why I pulled them. I've got 3 of them that I pulled. I didn't pull, or oh no, 4. I've got 4, but 3 of them are pretty standard ones. This is the first one, Deflection. It's a 2-cost event. It's a skill, but as a hero interrupt, whenever an identity would take any amount of damage, you can prevent up to 5 of that damage. And then for each point that you prevented, you are going to discard a card from the top of your deck. So this one, I really like it a lot because to be able to prevent 5 damage for 2 is really good. But, it's the fact that it prevents it outright. It doesn't have to, you don't have to. And you can play this for somebody else. You're not blocking for them. You're just preventing damage. So if you're playing in a multiplayer game and you've got a teammate that's about to take a big hit or whatever, you could potentially keep them alive. They might take a 7 or an 8 hit. Well, you could prevent 5 of that outright. So that keeps your teammates around a little bit longer too. So I think that's why I like this one. Is it's you don't have to block, and it's just preventing damage. So great card. One of my favorite of the newer protection cards. Of course, you've got the classic Desperate Defense. That's from the base game, right?
No, that's from.
It's early on. I know that. We've been
using
using it for a long time.
Strange.
But Desperate Defense, it's a 1-cost defense event. So whenever your hero defends against an attack, you get +2 for the defense. And if you don't take any damage, then you get to unexhaust. Now, Daredevil's base defense is only a 2. We've got a couple of ways in here to actually build it up, on a semi-permanent basis, or permanent basis, whatever you want to call it. They can go away, so I guess semi. But we do have ways to buff that up. But depending on where we get with that, this one may or may not make the final cut, but it tends to stay in most of our protection decks, so it's probably sticking around. We've also got Never Back Down, which is kind of a sister card to that. It's a 1-cost event. It's a hero interrupt. After your hero defends against an attack, you get +2 for the attack. And if you don't take any damage, then you can stun the attacking enemy. So especially this one, if you play this one and this one together, for a cost of 2, you get +40 to your defense. You unexhaust and you've stunned the enemy. So this is a combination I like to use against the villain. You can, it doesn't have to be, but that's a great combination of cards there. The last event that I've got here is one that I don't normally use, but hey, bonus, it does have Daredevil and Elektra in the artwork.
Yep.
So this is Stronger Together.
It has to be in the deck.
Yeah, this is a must then. Elektra said this is a must. But this 0-cost hero event. But whenever a character other than your hero would take any amount of damage, if the character shares a trait, then you can reduce that by your defense. So this is a way, and this is kind of in there predominantly. You can use it on. I've got a couple of different defender allies in here, but this is actually predominantly for Elektra.
Right. So
I kind of got it in there for her.
Or like when we do the campaign, if I'm playing Echo and Dirk's playing his Daredevil Protection, then you could use it to help Echo,
Yes, but it's basically the predominant thing is it's in there. Like I said, the main thing that I put it in there for, why I thought it was such a good one, is because with Elektra, then if you prevent that damage to her, then it's great to prevent consequential, so you're not taking it as well. Right? Of course, like I said, I do think Daredevil's going to turn up taking a lot of damage, so I've got a couple of different ways here to kind of help heal some of that. And I've got Dr. Sinclair and the Night Nurse. They both do a very similar thing. Dr. Sinclair is alter ego action. Night Nurse is just action can be played to the side. But in essence, they both will heal a character and they will remove a status card. So they're there to help remove a negative status and to heal you up a little bit. And then I've also got Ops Room. So that's the other support that I've got in here. This is a 2-cost shield support, uses 3 alert counters on it, but whenever a friendly character would take any amount of damage, While defending, you can remove one of the counters to prevent one of that damage. So it's just a way to have a feeling Daredevil. It feels like it's going to be defending a lot with this deck. So it's a way to just help him take a little bit less damage, stick around a little bit longer. Uh, then we've got to, this is where I think I might have went a little bit overboard here because I have got a lot of upgrades in this. Even though I wasn't kind of thinking to go to the upgrades, the progression protection tends to have a lot anyways, and there were other ones that I don't use as much that I thought would still actually work really well in this. So this is probably where I'm going to do most of the paring down whenever it comes to it. But I mean, I don't know which ones yet because I don't know what else is coming in his kit.
So you might want to pause the video, go to the fridge,
grab a snack,
grab a beer or soda or something, then sit down and hit play.
Yeah, I did not put all of them in here, but there's quite a few. First of all, we'll try to go through them fairly quick. Anticipation's a 1-cost upgrade. It's a prep, max 1 per player, but as a hero interrupt, whenever you engage a minion, you can discard this to ready your hero. It's just a way to ready to be able to defend more often is kind of what it's in here for. You've got the armored vest and the defensive conditioning. These are in here to add additional defense. This is the way I'm buffing him up on the defense side. The armored vest adds 1 to his defense. The defensive conditioning will add 2 or add 1 as well, but it also adds 3 hit points. I have containment strategy is one that I'm looking at here. This is one I haven't used yet, but it felt like it would work well in him. So you attach it to a non-permanent side scheme, match 1 per side scheme. But after a hero defends against an attack, you can remove 1 threat from the attached scheme. Instead, if the hero took no damage. So again, we're kind of trying not to take damage. So I'm probably only putting 1 of these in here, but it's a good thing it helps you thwart a scheme basically by defending. So it felt like it made sense to me in this particular deck. We have Excelsior. This is one of the newer ones. Came out, who did this come out?
Hulkling.
This one came out with Hulkling, but it's a 1-cost upgrade. Oh, wow, Kree Skull, there you go. But it's a weapon, and it's restricted, so, that's not normally too big of a concern with protection players, but it might be, so you gotta watch for it. But after your hero defends against an enemy attack, you can spend an energy to deal 2 damage to the enemy. This is probably on the short list, but I did think that it, going with the upgrades, it felt like a good one to have out, but like I said, it's probably a short lister. It's probably going to be one of the first to go, but we'll see. Because a lot of these I'm looking at, I'm probably only putting 1 in on a lot of these. So I mean,
Excelsior is unique.
Yeah, well, Excelsior is unique. You're required to only put, but I mean, there's several of these different that I would probably only have 1 in the deck. You got Flow Like Water. It's a 2-cost upgrade. You can play it under any player's control, but after you play a defense card, you're going to deal 1 damage to the attacking enemy. So again, it's another way to by defending, you're damaging the enemies. We've got Indomitable here. So this one, after your hero defends, you discard this to ready your hero. Now, this is one that I might have more than 1 in, but it's a great card. We've got Judoku skill. To me, this is one that I've thought about Daredevil Electra since this one first came out. Just because I was kind of surprised it's not a martial arts, though. But I mean, I guess they didn't have that keyword back when this first came out, so. But yeah, this one feels like it should be a martial arts card, but it's 2-cost upgrade. It's a skill, comes in with 3 judo counters on it, max 1 per player. But whenever you defend against an enemy attack, you can remove 1 from here, and that enemy gets -2 for the attack. So yeah, this is again, it's a way to prevent damage from happening to you with whenever you defend. You've got Nerves of Steel, of course. That's a way to help pay for the defense events. I don't have a lot in here. It might not make the cut, but I mean, anytime I am playing them, if I've got the room for the deck, it's a sensible card to play because even if you've only got, 3 or 4 in your deck, you can still play them for free. I mean, if I've got at least 4 defense events in my deck, I'm probably playing this. 5, it's definitely going in.
And a lot of defense events have a bonus if
Yeah.
you use energy to pay for it.
Yep. So we've got Pin Down. Now this is another one that I've never actually used before, but it did feel good. It felt like it kind of fit in because of the different attachments to side schemes and such and minions. But this one's you attach to a minion, and the attached minion gets -2 to their attack. So yeah, this one is allows you to actually stay up with the minions to where you're not taking the damage for most minions. Most minions are probably, I think probably at least 50-60% of the minions out there are only doing 1 or 2 points of damage. So it's a good way to keep them kind of at bay.
And in a way, it's like having another sense.
Yep.
Too. So
we've got the stun gun here. So this is one that stun gun is 2-cost upgrade. It's restricted. So this is where it would matter if you had Excelsior out. But hero action, you can exhaust the stun gun and remove 1 or 2 charge counters from it. If you remove 1, you're going to stun a minion. If you remove 2, you're going to stun the villain. So this is, just kind of wherever you need those stuns to be. Normally we turn up using it for the villain, but you might do it for the minions and deal with the villain other ways. We've got Under Control here. It's a 0-cost upgrade. You attach this one to a minion, max 1 per minion. But after the minion, or after a hero defends against the attached minion's attack and takes no damage, you're going to deal 4 damage to the attached minion. So this is again one, if you've got one of the minions that's got a lot of has a lot of hit points, but has a lower thwart or scheme or attack, you can put the, what was the card? You could put the pin down on them to make it to where they aren't attacking you. And then the Under Control, of course, you're not taking the damage from the attack, so then you're dealing damage just by defending against them. Yeah. And then, of course, the last of the protection cards I've got here is the Unflappable. This is the one, Dave said it's because it's got the artwork, but no, it actually is because it is a good card. I mean, the artwork is the bonus, but it's a good card, period. But yeah, it's a 1-cost upgrade, and this is one played under any player's control, max 1 per player. But if they defend against attack and take no damage, you can exhaust this to draw a card. Card advantage, I love it. And then the last card I've got here, just because I've got a few defenders in here, and Electra, who is key to the deck, is also a defender and a martial artist. So this just reduces the cost of anybody who shares a trait with you while you're in hero form, or any card that shares a trait with you while you're in hero form. You can exhaust this, cut the cost by 1.
And Focus.
Oh, I did not actually put Defocus in this.
But you would.
I probably would be putting a
Yeah,
Defocus
I think I forgot to put it in my previous deck.
Just because with the
senses.
The senses deck, Defocus feels like just a slam dunk.
Yeah, I think Dense Focus or Def Focus would be for every single
yes.
Deck.
I don't know that I would make a Daredevil deck without that, to be honest.
All right. Well, anyways, so that was our 5 deck ideas for Daredevil based on what we know from the article. And so, looking forward. We have to wait till July, but hey, we could be thinking about Daredevil anyways. So thank you for watching.
When in July does it come out? Beginning or end?
Towards the end.
Oh, so okay. No 4th of July celebrations.
No, that's like the last weekend of July, I believe.
See, because he smacks somebody with one of his sticks and lets them see fireworks.
Yeah. Okay. We were going to hang up with that. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe.
And if you want to see more content by us, go and hit that notification bell down there, and you'll get alerts whenever we post new videos. All right, see ya.